Welcome to the Chew on This podcast. Join your host, Dr. Katie Chew, and her guests as they chew on what matters, one story at a time.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Chew on This podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Katie Chew. And today we are filming in Nashville, Tennessee. And I have a colleague of mine, Dr. Oliver Liu. Hi, Oliver.
Hi. Yeah.
And how far did you have to travel to be here in Nashville?
Took an hour and 34 minutes flight. So from Austin, Texas. Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you lived and worked in Austin?
Since 2002, so 24 years in Austin.
24 years. And where were you prior to that?
I grew up in Houston and went to UT for undergraduate, so I was in Austin for 4 years. And then I did, optometry school in Houston. And then my fourth year I got married and I did both of my internships in Dallas.
Okay, so you've been very loyal to Houston and Texas.
Yes.
And Texas.
Yeah. Guess I'm a Texan, yeah.
Yes. Is your wife an optometrist?
No, she's a psychologist.
She's a psychologist. Wonderful, wonderful. So both in healthcare. All right, so before we start with our format of the soft chews and the hard chews, I think I kind of clued you in on that. Do you want to give my followers a little bit more about your history, a little bit more about your background? I know I just mentioned that you're an optometrist, but what are some of the things that you love to do on the side? And
I married my high school sweetheart. We started dating in high school.
Yeah.
Went all the way through UT and dated, and we dated for 7 or 8 years, and then got married.
So nice.
And so I've been married 26 years, 3 kiddos. 14.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. 26 years.
It's 26 years. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Goes quick. And I got 3 kiddos, 14, 16, and 19. 16-year-old's a girl. And the other ones are boys. And then you got 2 dogs. So if you be busy family, they all are involved either in dance or sports. And what I try to do on the side is I try to play either pickleball or ultimate frisbee. Those are my 2 things I do for, sports or recreation.
Yeah.
Just say the
ultimate
frisbee. Yeah.
Frisbee out on sand or like beach frisbee?
It's almost like a combination of playing soccer and football with a frisbee. So you're trying to score goals on grass. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of running. So.
I just wasn't sure if you were trying to also do, because they do frisbee over sand. Right. I think that's a little bit harder, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
When you have to run on sand and your feet are grasping on something
that would be hard.
It would be.
It's already hard enough, so it would be harder down. Wow.
So it sounds like you're very competitive in terms of sports.
I just like to stay active.
Did you play any sports in high school?
I played tennis.
Okay, and then college, just focus on the academics?
Yeah. Intramurals when I could, yeah.
And you have a pastime? You have intramurals. I did volleyball.
Okay.
Intramurals. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. And then I think when I started working as an optometrist, the first 5 years I was doing not intramural, but like one of the local volleyball teams. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. But then it got hard because my kids would always be like sitting in the bleachers watching me play, and it was always in a gym where there wasn't much space for the children to run around. Yeah. And so they're always avoiding the balls coming at them. And at some point I think I stopped, maybe after about 3 years of playing that. So yeah. All right, are you ready to start the questions?
Depends how hard they are.
Okay, you grab your soft shoes. I'll grab my hard shoes here.
Soft, okay.
Yes. Go ahead and grab one question, and we're gonna have you read it out loud.
Yes.
And we're gonna both.
This is a good one. Oh, they got.
I know. My staff got a little bit carried away because when I told them that I was going to be gone for about 4 days, and that I might be doing some podcasting, spontaneous podcasting, they kind of went crazy and printed out a lot of questions and overstepped the bags. Okay, here we go.
This will be a good one, I believe. It's what kind of environment brings out your most honest self, like truly unfiltered?
Okay, do you know the answer?
What kind of environment? I would say I have 2 answers. One is when I'm actually playing sports. I believe very much in teamwork, collaboration, support. So whether it be the pickleball court or to a frisbee, I feel like that's kind of who I am. So it's okay. I also feel like the people around me, that's kind of who they are. They're either very supportive and collaborative, or a little bit competitive, or just the whole mix, anything else. So I feel like that's a place what's my true self.
Yeah, I can see that with myself too. If I'm put into like a sports environment, I think it's hard to be anything else than your true self, right?
Right.
Um,
I think second one's at home with the family, with the wife and kids, and it's my time. That's kind of like the sanctuary, and it's when I'm relaxed, and that's why
yeah.
is stereocultured as well.
Yeah. I'm going to be. All right. So at first I was going to say my family or children, but then I started reading the question a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was your most honest self. And then I started thinking, it's going to have to be my best friends. When I'm around my best friends, I'm going to be my most authentic self, and not my children. And it's because I was taught in recent years that even though my children are adults now, that I don't share everything with them. That we still need to keep our boundaries in terms of being careful and not oversharing. There are certain things about my own personal life that just because my daughters are adults, but you would think you can share everything that are adult related to them, right? And so my therapist taught me that no, you don't do that, right? You keep those adult things with your girlfriends. And you still will keep that boundary as being the parent, the mother, to your adult children. So so I'm going to say my most authentic self is with my best friends.
There you go.
Yeah. Truly unfiltered.
Truly
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a soft one. I don't know. I've done other.
Maybe in for it.
I know. I've done other episodes where always going, gee, that felt like you got put in the wrong bag. All right.
Okay.
This is from the hard one. What's something you had to lose to become who you are today?
Okay. For me, I feel like what was very formative when I was growing up was actually my dad losing his job as a chemical engineer, and it put us in a time where financially it was pretty difficult. So I was in second grade when it happened, and for about 7 years he had to. Both my mom and dad got in find whatever odd and end jobs they could. Was during the oil kind of bust, and we were in Houston. He's throwing oil in the gas. He was very underemployed for many years. Just kind of as a child, losing the security of a nice cush job, and seeing my parents struggle, and then seeing how I could help. I'm an only child. Seeing how I could help the family out. So one of the jobs that my mom ended up doing, and the one that worked the best, was she, set up a little sound shop within an office building. It was, 5 days a week. Pretty hard work, staying on a feedlot, cutting, paring, buying things. And
Did you ever help out at that
did,
a
a lot.
shop?
Yes.
My parents had a Chinese restaurant in downtown LA in the early 1970s, and me and my brothers, we helped them out.
Yeah. I was there every day all summer, and on the weekends helping carrying things. It was stocking.
Teaching you work ethics, right? It's only just seeing your parents do that, but then them bringing us in and teaching us skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Helping.
All right, so it's my turn now. What's something you had to lose to become who you are today? Boy, I think this is a hard one for me. I think for me, it did have to be tied into a physical loss of my mother.
Yeah.
And it sounds kind of deep here, but it's really related to that growing up, and I've said this before in my podcast, and you may not know it, but that's, I was abused as a child, and it was horrific abuse, but no, not sexual
Right.
abuse. I
Yeah.
want to make that clear.
Right.
But it was with my mother, and a lot of the abuse came in the evening when everyone else was asleep, and she would always take out her anger on me while I was asleep, so I would be woken up from my sleep. And this is pretty much all my childhood.
Wow.
And but nobody else would know,
Right.
and that's the hard part. So I'm bringing this up in terms of what's something you had to lose is that once my mom passed away, I think that was the time when I actually had to confront myself in terms of the guilt I felt. Because, no matter what, if you have a mother and a daughter type of relationship, but at the same time, I recognize that it was not a healthy relationship.
Right.
But at the same time, you also feel like there's that loyalty that, as a daughter, you should always love your mother. And I just had a really hard time
Yeah.
handling that. And so with therapy, I had to work through that. And this is after the passing of my mother. And I think it has given me closure, because now that I know that she physically cannot hurt me,
Right.
that helps me in my healing to understand that I need to forgive her. And so the last probably 5 years is when that healing really came, when I learned to forgive her.
Right.
And so my answer could be much longer, but I think that's what I had to lose was my mother. The physical, passing of her allowed me to be able to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I am going to touch on one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, I write children's books, and it is coming from my abuse as a child. And I also write children's songs, just so you know. And every book that I've written, there is a lullaby. The lullaby is there's significance behind the lullaby. It is tied into the fact that because I would be abused in darkness at nighttime,
Yeah.
and I don't want any kid to ever have to experience that, right?
Right.
That when you go to bed, it should be a time for peace and sweetness and dreams and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And I missed all that. And so that's why I had to make sure that with each children's book, it was going to be tied into a lullaby, to let the child know that when they hear that lullaby, that it's a reminder for them to know that they are protected and that they feel safe and loved under the skies of with starry nights. And so yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. It's all tied in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. You want to go with an easy one to kind of?
You promise this one will be easy?
I
It
think
says
so.
soft chews
I
in the
think
bag.
so. I think so.
Okay. What's a simple pleasure you never get tired of? Okay.
Do you know that one?
Yeah, I mean, a few things come to mind. So,
Okay.
but
Do you want me to start?
you go start.
Well,
Yeah.
I've already said this one on another podcast. I mean, this one here, a simple pleasure for me is drinking my coffee. That's a very, very simple pleasure, right? Doesn't cost much,
Right.
but it fills me up,
Yeah.
and it just reminds me of, ironically, it reminds me of childhood, right? But here I just finished off.
Right.
But it reminds me of the tenderness of my father. See, and I think that's how come I grew up. And my therapist has told me this, that the way I described how I was brought up in terms of my mom's actions, I grew up I'm functioning pretty well.
Yeah.
but it's
For sure.
because it was balanced off with my father and his family. They are the most loving and kind people.
Right.
And so it was just, my mom was the isolated factor,
Right.
which nobody else knew
Yeah.
growing up. And so,
Right.
so the coffee reminds me of my father. My father used to always make Folgers instant coffee.
Okay.
And I think that's where it comes from. I love coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go with yours?
Yeah, I think mine's morning time. It's my little routine I have with my 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs do you have?
They're Pomeranians.
Okay.
That's what my wife wanted, and they're about 8 and 9 pounds. And probably half of that's fur or fluff, I should say.
Yes. I had a Pomeranian at one point. Yes.
Yeah, smart, sweet dogs. But yeah, they wake up. They're my alarm clock. They wake up just right time, and they have this little routine, and it's they're pretty affectionate in the morning, and it just makes sure they're fed, they're taken care of, and I can even go back to sleep after I take care of them, or I can start my day. Most of the time I start my day.
Yeah.
But it's just that routine of knowing that they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed first thing in the morning, and taking care of them and connecting with them.
Yeah. I am going to give a shout out to my dog sitter, Kelsey. And, when I'm doing, traveling for BNL or, now at Nashville for Vision Source, it's like my 2 dogs, I mean, they're family, right?
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you leave them with somebody that is going to love them as much as us.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And so thank you, Kelsey.
You're doing great, Kelsey.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are doing
Yeah.
great. She sends me videos of her taking them out
That's
for walks.
amazing,
and
yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes she'll just, be on the sofa watching a movie, in my living room with the dogs. And so it is so cool. It is so cool. All right. I guess we both answered, and that was a soft one.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
All right.
I can admit that one.
Yes. All right. Here's a hard one. What's something you believed deeply that you've since let go of? Can I make you answer that one first? I
have to think about that one too.
I need to deeply think about this one. What's something you believe deeply that you've since let go of? Well, I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that I believe. Well, I guess it is a sense of belief. But I feel like it was something that I was taught, more so that it was a belief that I developed on my own. But I felt like I was taught that because I'm a girl, I have to be more safe in my decision making. Girls just don't do that. And, I'm talking about just being raised. And I've let that all go. I mean, I look at my 2 daughters, right? I raised them to where the sky's the limit for them. And it's because that's what I realized. I mean, I can do anything I want to do, right? And the only thing that was ever stopping me was my own belief. And I had to unlearn the things that I was taught to be who I am today, which is that I've let go of all that noise that I am not good enough. I am. I'm more than good enough.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so look at my daughters, one is a marketing manager for NFL football players. So, she's killing it in the sports industry.
Right.
And then my younger daughter, she's in the U.S. Marines.
Yeah.
And how cool is that?
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm learning from them too.
Yeah.
How to be strong and bold.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I was trying to buy you time.
You bought me time. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
You're welcome.
I'm
You're
going to
welcome.
take a shot at this. I think you alluded this earlier when I was talking about sports, and you probably assumed I was competitive. And I kind of pushed back on that, saying, I don't think I'm that competitive. But growing up and probably through high school and maybe even early college, mostly through high school, I think I was probably ultra competitive.
Oh,
and,
so I was right.
You were right. Yes, I have to admit that.
So you were in a little bit of denial.
Yes, but I truly believe I'm a reformed, competitive person because I truly believe in collaboration, and you don't have to be first, or you don't have to win, or it's more important that the everybody involved is doing well.
So well,
And
so well said.
Yeah. So and I give a lot of credit to my, at the time, girlfriend and now wife, who's always been interested in psychology since she was a young child, and now she got her PhD in psychology, so she
Oh, wow.
always probably helps me think of things in probably a more, positive light, more
Yeah.
collaborative and everything else. So,
Yeah.
and I, I actually believe I am a more collaborative, less competitive, cooperative person.
With the help of your wife.
Yeah,
Reminding
and just seeing that, I may stray once in a while, and it may be buried very deeply internal, but
Yeah.
I think mostly all the way through, I'm always going to be defaulting more towards, how can we make this better for the team, or how can we be cooperative, collaborative.
I love it.
So yeah.
Yeah. And and it's strange, but not strange, to think of it like, that team mentality, right? You can really take that team mindset to every aspect of your life, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just sports, right?
Right.
It's just your family's a team.
Yeah.
Your workplace, everyone there is a
Absolutely.
team.
Yeah.
Right here, we are part
Yeah.
of a Vision Source team,
Right.
right? And
But you can be competitive about any aspect of your life too. And so, if I can apply what's good for the team, or what's collaborative to, whether it be work or just playing sports, or even in the family, and all those dynamics,
Yeah.
it can be applied everywhere. And
Yeah. And in going back to, it is also okay to have that winning mentality, right?
Right.
But knowing or acknowledging the fact that, that there's a larger component beyond just ourselves, right?
Right.
That we do need to rely on all these other components,
Right.
other team members,
Yeah.
to make and achieve that goal
Right.
or that win,
Right.
right? So
Yeah. It can't be at the sacrifice of others.
yeah,
So right.
yeah, 100%.
Everybody's got to be feeling okay about it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, was that a hard shoe or soft?
Hard.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, you pull a soft.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and do
Softly
that.
go. Let's dig a little deeper.
Yes.
I feel like at the surface is these semi not soft ones here. Okay, let's see.
It's almost like Russian roulette, right? You just don't know which.
I feel like this is a follow-up. What's something you've changed your mind about recently, though? So not a
Okay.
long time ago, recently.
So this is recent.
And-
Okay.
and, yeah,
Let's. I'm gonna put a challenge on us.
Okay.
Let's make it this week.
this week.
Let's do that.
Okay. Well, we're at Vision Source Exchange, so all I've been thinking about is eye stuff. And I think the first thing that came to mind is contact lenses. And I feel like sometimes I do so much of it, it becomes a little bit routine, and I haven't recently took a look at it and see how important of a role it plays in my practice, and how important it is for each patient and their encounter. So it may at times become easy or routine, or something I just almost don't think about too much. But
So you got redirected that it does have a significance. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
a higher importance, and
Yes.
I'm trying to take a look at it in a new lens, with a new light, at like everything we could be doing for me personally, as well as my team, and what we do in our practice when it's involved with contact lenses. And
Did you
I've
learn this
learned-
through one of the workshops?
it was internal,
Yeah.
and then I've been trying to attend as many workshops to get supported on that and feed into that. So I've learned even more on top of that. But it was a revelation first, and now I'm trying to support that so I can figure out how to execute or implement that. So
That's actually my associate's mindset coming into this.
Yeah.
I think I introduced you, or maybe not, Dr. Kenneth Cow,
okay,
but he was
Yeah.
coming into this with that type of thinking, that he already had these revelations, and he wanted to attend as many of the workshops related to like myopia
Right.
management,
okay,
to help solidify the direction he wants to take our practice.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
For me, okay, we made this into this week. What's something
Recently,
Yes, something you've changed your mind about recently. I'm gonna kind of put a spin on this, because it wasn't something that I changed my mind, but it happened to me. But then I realized I managed it so well. And it was prior to coming to Nashville, I did a presentation, a speaker presentation for contact lenses out in Georgia.
Okay.
And I had to take a flight out of Atlanta to fly out to to Nashville.
Right.
And so I never miss any flights.
Right.
On that day, standing in line through security, I was looking at, they had a monitor of how many minutes it was going to take for us to get through security. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 90 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, I'm going to miss my flight.
Right.
But I was, still trying to be hopeful. And so I think I got halfway through all the crazy, like there were thousands of us. This was literally this week.
Right.
And at that time, I ended up calling the travel agency.
Right.
And so while on the phone, they were able to cancel that one and rebook me into a later flight.
Right.
But the point is that in that quick moment, I mean, I know that there were other people around me. They were getting very upset.
Right.
They were getting very upset. And for me, it was like that one phone call, like just being level and then making that one phone call, it fixed the problem, right?
Right.
And I think that's what kind of like allowed me to understand that it's all mindset. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of reading this a little bit differently, but it's something that changed my mind, meaning like, if my mindset had been where it might have used to be, where little things like that, and for some people they won't see it as little, and they were literally getting upset that they were going to miss their flight and whatever. But I could have also missed a flight, but I took the moment. I'm like, let me see if I can fix it. Right. So I stayed calm, cool, and collected. And it was okay. Right, and got through it.
Right.
And and for me to like be here in Nashville, I didn't have like a set deadline. So it was okay that I was going to be here like a couple of hours later.
Sure. Right.
But I just tell myself it's going to be okay.
Right.
And so not to like worry about the small things.
And it's now spring of 2026, and I missed my first flight a month ago in March.
Did you?
Yeah.
And was it because of the TSA line?
TSA lines.
I know.
Over 3 hours in Austin. So
yeah. Well, see, so this week there should have been no reason. If that makes sense, because the whole like TSA security, it's been, I'm going to put in air quotes, supposed to be resolved.
Right.
And I came
Surprised
from LA.
Yeah.
LA has no issues.
Right.
And so I needed to be at the airport 5 hours before my flight.
I know.
For domestic. And so that was something. I hope I answered it. Okay. That was an easy one. I don't feel like that was easy.
No.
That was not. No.
But maybe this will be an easy, hard one. Hopefully.
Yes. Here we go. What's something you wish you could tell your younger self and know they would actually listen? Oh, this is a good one. What's something you wish you could tell your younger self and know they would actually listen? I think when I read the part actually listen.
That's the tricky part. Yeah.
But for me, when I hear that means that I'm going to be telling myself something that's positive.
Okay.
Right? I'd be more resistant with something that was negative, right?
Yeah.
But I think I would tell myself that everything's going to be okay, Katie.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how I answered the other question, like, don't sweat over the little stuff. But then now I realize I also don't need to sweat over the big stuff.
Right.
Right? Everything in the end ends up being okay.
Yeah.
Right? It's our human minds that kind of like sometimes exaggerates things, and then it causes like a knot in our stomach or anxiety or unnecessary stress. But at the end, we always come out okay. Yeah. Even after all that stress. So like now I'm just like practicing not even having that stress develop. So that's what I would tell my younger self, that everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you?
That's a tough one for me. But I think the first thing that I thought of was just to really have gratitude. I think I learned that later in life. And, I think that came from a little bit of I had to work hard, or I had some maybe insecurity or uncertainty. And so you're so focused on just trying to overcome barriers or achieve that you don't always have gratitude or appreciate where you're at. And so, hopefully I now know better to have gratitude for each step of the way. And if I could pass that on to myself earlier. And I think hopefully I would have listened to my older self when I was younger. I don't know if I would have, but hopefully I would have. So seems sensible. So
well, let me ask you this. So since you are aware of it now, right, and you're not sure if you would have received it well when you were younger, but maybe you would have.
Yeah.
Have you been already demonstrating how good it is to feel and to show gratitude to your children, right? I mean, that is something where I feel like all the things that I'm learning now, I can't wait to show it to my children, because it's like, it took me this long, right? And you guys have such a huge advantage of learning what we learn, right? And gratitude is such a huge one. That was a good answer.
Yeah, well, if we can give them that gift, that'd be great. The earlier they might learn that, that'd be, just great if they could do that.
Yeah, being humble, showing gratitude, it really does help you align with, why you're here. Yeah. I feel that way, at least for me. So, all right, that was an easy, hard one.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
I'll take it.
Well, it was. Okay, soft?
It wasn't easy until I found an answer, so yeah. Thank you for going first on that one.
Well, that's what's kind of nice with these hard chews and soft chews. It kind of does allow us to touch upon things that normally, like in passing, when I see you like at a conference or at our training sessions or whatever, it's like, do we really talk about this stuff?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, yeah. Okay, what's something people would be surprised to learn you genuinely enjoy?
That you genuinely enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go with what just came to mind.
Yeah.
And wait, what ethnic, what's your background?
Chinese.
You're Chinese,
so,
okay. Okay.
Born here in the United States.
Okay, so the only reason I'm asking is because you'll understand when I say it is, and I'm gonna say it in Chinese, Feng Zhao.
Is that Mandarin? That's Cantonese.
That's Cantonese.
Okay, Mandarin. So
but it's a fancier way of saying chicken feet.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yes, I genuinely enjoy eating chicken feet.
Right.
And Feng Zhao in Cantonese, if I translate it directly into English, it's phoenix claw.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the claw of the phoenix.
Right.
Yeah. How would you say in Mandarin?
I don't know.
Feng Zhao.
My Mandarin's Jiao is
Jiao
foot,
is foot or claw. Feng is phoenix. Yeah, Feng Zhao. Yeah.
Feng Zhao.
Yeah, Feng Zhao.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah, I forgot the word phoenix. Sorry, Mom and Dad. So, yeah, but it came to me. Yeah.
Yes. But no, I think that's something that would surprise people.
Yeah.
And I think our culture or Chinese people, they find so many different ways to cook chicken feet.
Yeah.
And so both my daughters, so I'm first generation born here. My daughters are second generation, right? And they love their chicken feet too.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because it came from me.
Okay.
But we make it either into a stew,
right,
or in a soup, and they love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids, I just exposed one of our secrets. No, just kidding. All right.
Mine is quite surprising.
All right.
think.
What's the surprise?
My wife and I were discussing this earlier this week because it came up. Both my daughter and I, out of our family, love cleaning sink drains that get stopped up. Like getting in there. I know.
You mean with all the gunk that comes out?
I know. It's the strangest thing. Put that little snake in there, and the more you pull out, the more gratifying.
Okay, all right, I'm going to share. Oh my gosh.
That's surprising, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is surprising.
But it just, and I want to almost show my wife, but she absolutely grossed out by it. But at least my daughter and I, who I wouldn't have thought would have liked that either,
Yeah.
we can show each other just how much good we did or how nasty it was to get all that stuff out. And then it runs well. It's just such a satisfying feeling, but yeah.
I don't know why, when you said that, all I could think of was Dr. Pimple Popper.
That's what I explained to my wife.
Have you ever watched her episodes or her?
I've seen one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, she puts it out on like TikTok or whatever.
Kind of gratifying too, yeah. But
yeah, but it's like
that's the analogy I gave.
Like to other people, it's so gross, right? But it's so satisfying for like me to sometimes watch her pop a pimple.
Right. Yeah.
You know what?
So pass on my gene on that. Pass on to one kid out of 3. Yeah. I know my boys would be absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say?
That.
You just topped me on the surprise. I think that's more surprising than my chicken feet.
Okay. Yeah, I was surprised it came to mind, but I'm like, that is
bizarre.
Yeah. And I don't know how to say
explain
it without
but
grossing people out, but I'm good with it.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I know what it is too. It's like, because when you see that water building up and all that stuff, and it's because, and then at the same time you're thinking, do I need to really spend like $400 to get a plumber? Like I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And then the satisfaction of when you actually can hear the water go shh, that goes straight through.
You turn on the water and it just drains right out.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. All right, that was a fun one actually. All right, here we go. What's something you've learned about people that changed how you relate to them? I'm going to go first.
Okay. Thank you for going first.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes if I have to like gnaw on it too much, then my mind just starts drifting everywhere, right? So I just have to kind of go with what I feel. What's something you've learned about people that changed how you relate to them? I would say that I have learned as I got older, because I've always been a people person. Mm-hmm.
And I can see that. Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go deep. It's psychotherapy, psychoanalyze myself. I think it's probably because, of that desire of wanting the attention of my mother, that kind of thing, that it passed on to me to always want to like win the attention of others. So I'm always like trying to please people, make people happy. I'm just doing all this stuff, right? And what I've learned now is that not all people appreciate what I do. And I would keep giving. And now, as I'm getting older, I realize that I need to put boundaries and not expend the energy onto the people that don't reciprocate. Does it make sense? So it's kind of like going into you talking about gratitude. It's like, I've been practicing gratitude, and now I feel like I am worthy enough to be around people that are also going to show me gratitude. Like, you know what I mean? It has to be reciprocated. Otherwise, if it's just constantly a one-way street, that I get depleted. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's what I've learned now, is that the people who aren't reciprocating at that level, it's like I just learned that I end up distancing myself now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because there's, if everybody's a friend, then who's really your friend, right? And so now I realize I just need a small group. A small group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay.
Did I buy you enough time?
I don't know. I'm really struggling with this question. Yeah, if you want to give me my answer, I appreciate it. Yeah. What's something you learned about people that changed how you relate to them? I think I turned this internal, and I feel like I, by nature, am just very conflict avoidant. I think I very much want there to be peace and harmony, and I feel like as I encounter more people, more situations, that doesn't always work, that people actually want to know kind of you know, what I'm thinking or the truth or just where things stand. And I need to not be so shy about, saying some things that are probably helpful for, clearing up communication. So
kind of like this situation,
yeah.
where it's kind of pulling, a
Right.
little bit more from you.
Yeah, right. Because I think I've always felt like if something didn't go well, it's because I either didn't say it right or because I chose the wrong time to say it.
So you're
But-
hard on yourself then.
Yeah, a little bit. But now I'm like, I think people value me being a little more direct so we can actually get to communicating more versus me being so conflict avoidant and shy about saying things that need to be said and never, then sometimes just don't get around to being said and stuff. So, so just relating to people and trusting that, if I say it from the heart, that it'll be well received, and that's more important than trying to,
Yeah.
be conflict avoidant or be worried about
So
saying
you
it the
would
wrong
be
way.
a perfect attendee at my future Visionaries at Sea
Okay.
project, because that leadership program that I'm trying to develop and have it launched
Mhm.
in November of this year, it is a leadership workshop,
Mhm.
but part of it is about finding your true voice,
Right.
right? And to develop that confidence back in yourself and knowing that you could be you
Mhm.
and
Right.
still be heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like right now I'm hearing a little bit of what you're saying is that you felt like part of it is just you being maybe a little bit more, I think you said shy, but
Yeah.
like maybe a little bit more timid about,
Sure.
but sometimes it's not even that.
Mhm.
It's more that, your voice is already strong,
Mhm.
right? But you're not confident enough to just
Right.
share it, right?
Right.
And I think that's where part of my leadership program is going to help people who attend to leave kind of re-energized and kind of have this surge of of kind of like a call to action. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Right.
Because you can finally learn, get tools where you can go, okay, I'm going to start implementing and voicing out more, practicing it, right? But me knowing you for a short period of time in terms of like, yes, we've been on the speaker bureau for years, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like really talking, it wasn't really until this
Right. Recently. Yeah.
recently. And it was because a year ago
Right.
at the exchange,
Yeah.
we had a brief encounter.
Yeah.
And then it took that long for us to see each other again. It was
Right.
at the training.
Mhm.
And and I think in that short amount of time, I didn't think you were shy.
Yeah. I wouldn't say necessarily shy, maybe just
What's the-
hesitant.
hesitant, right?
To go a little deeper on,
You know what it
when we're
is?
communicating.
You're right.
Yeah.
It is not shy. It's what you said earlier. Like you just like avoiding conflict, right? You
Right.
just want to not
Yeah.
say something that might be causing conflict.
Right. Intention. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All right. That was a hard one.
Yeah.
Was that easy or hard?
I think that was a hard one.
Okay, then you pull.
Okay.
We'll do that one and then one more hard after you. And
Okay.
then our episode would be tied with a nice bow.
She promised me to get ice cream if I did all this. No, just kidding.
Yes, I did. No, just kidding.
It would be effective though. Okay. But we can go to sea apparently on a cruise and eat all we want. On
Yes,
this
that
Visionary.
is
So,
true.
Right.
That is
Looking
true.
forward to that. Oh, well, what's something you're looking forward to right now? Speaking of looking forward to that, right?
Ice cream. No, just kidding.
Ice cream or the Visionary by Sea cruise. That,
Yes. So what are you looking forward to right
I
now?
am so looking forward to seeing my college freshman son in Vermont. I am going to be flying out next Monday,
Okay.
and I will be helping him move out of his dorm. And
Nice.
it's just, you don't realize how much you'll miss your older son until they're gone. And, you're used to having him around for 18 years, and I've seen him probably 3 times in the last year. So it'll be good to see him.
So
Yeah.
when you help him move out of the dorms, road trip back to where you are? Yes, or are you gonna
No, we're just doing it all by flight. So
all
he
by flight?
rented a basement. This one really nice lady is renting out 10 spots in her basement,
Yeah.
6 by 6, and as high as her basement is, where they can store their things for the summer. And he'll be
Nice.
moving back into a different dorm come August.
Oh, how
so
wonderful
just
is
doing
that?
for 3 months.
Oh,
so.
nice.
And
nice.
then I'll be flying up and bringing 2 empty suitcases and bringing back most of the stuff. And then he'll just fly back the following week once he's done the finals. So
Yeah.
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 But it's just the precious time where you don't realize how much you miss, talking and just having a good time with them until it becomes sparse. So,
Yeah. My younger daughter's in the military, and she's stationed in Pensacola, Florida. But she did get pulled out for, I think it was like a 3-month shorter program out in Fort Worth, Texas. And she just graduated from that program, which is dealing with more rotary or copters, flying copters.
Right.
She's in the aviation program. So I was on the phone with her this morning because she's now driving back from that 3-month program all the way back to Pensacola.
Yeah.
And but what she was telling me is that she's submitting the request for some time off because, as soon as I know that she has some time off, I want to see her.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so she has a little bit more than a week off. And I think we're going to, her and I and her sister, my other daughter, the 3 of us, we're going to go to Puerto Rico.
Nice. I've been there before. I
You
think you'll have a great time. Yeah.
We've never been there. And it was only because she hasn't traveled international. We normally travel international multiple times in a year, but the last year and a half, due to her training and all that, she hasn't gone out of the country. And so even this time, it was like we needed to stay somewhere where it would be closer to home and all that, just for the military purposes.
Yeah.
And so Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. territory, and so that was going to be much easier for her, in terms of security and all that. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go in 2 weeks.
Okay, been there twice actually, and both times really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll keep you posted. Or I might text you and ask you for like some tips on where to go and all that.
There's some good family things to do there. Yeah.
Okay. So I did answer that. That was what I'm looking forward to. All right, last one. This is the finale. What's the moment where you had to be strong for someone else?
I'll take that one.
Yes,
Because you've
go
been
ahead.
answering
No,
all
no,
of
go
them.
ahead, because I need some time. And some water.
To our surprise, my wife, who has been healthy, looks very healthy, at a pretty young age, had a pretty serious heart attack at 36. So.
Okay.
And it was definitely a surprise. It was due to a somewhat rare condition, although it's not as rare as people now know that they know more about it. But it's called SCAD, spontaneous coronary artery dissection. And this was shortly, like just a few months after having our 3rd child together. So now, I had to be strong.
And was she home at that time, or was she
no,
driving?
we were actually taking a family vacation to Hawaii and bringing her parents there as a thank you for how much they were helping us out with
the
having
newborn.
3 kids. Yeah, and 2. My oldest one was 5. My middle child was about 2.5, and then we had a 6-month or almost 9-month-old at the time.
Okay.
So, and she just started having more and more chest pains and getting sick and not realizing what it was. And she thought it was maybe something she ate or, some type of acid reflux. But it turned out the symptoms looked so bad. And she had that actually for several years before, but it was always at night. And she always, once she got sick, would be able to go back to sleep. And then by morning, she was fine. And she did see a doctor 1 or 2 times, but because she looked healthy and had no history of anything.
Whoa,
they
and
always,
the age, right?
Yeah, being 36, and they just never knew that it was that condition. But when we actually found it in Hawaii, we had to come back, and it took us about 2 years to find the actual diagnosis of it. And it was actually in Cleveland Clinic that they found that it was SCAD and that it had been happening for quite a few years.
So they found some damage from her previous heart
Yeah,
attacks.
they found collateral vessels that had built.
scarring.
And thankfully, collateral vessels are not great in the eyes, but they're good in the heart area. And it means that's her heart's way of creating a new route to get blood to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
And they feel like it's been happening for years. And looking back, she probably had it since she was 30. But it was just a long journey. And she's a strong one.
Yeah.
But anytime she would hit up against the wall or get a little frustrated, a little tired, I tried my best to be strong for her. And through that together, once we got the diagnosis, and then once we found a doctor that was local in Austin who could also help with that, I don't think I really rested easy until that cardiologist said, yeah, now that she's on these meds and she's doing well, there's no reason why she couldn't live to 105. So, and until then.
And that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
And then now you're thinking, am I going to live to 105 with her?
Right, well, I got to stay healthy myself. Anything else,
I was just going to say 105. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a lot. And it still occasionally affects her. And it's just being aware of that so that I can try to do my best to fill in the gaps wherever it is.
Yeah.
And, the kids, definitely can understand as well, but, they don't always, what they have to do, they can't always necessarily slow down for that either. And
Well,
so,
I mean,
and they're kids too, so.
Correct, and
they're
they
older
have
now,
they have their own life circumstances
Right.
that sometimes they just feel like I can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're so young that they can't separate the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
For
and
them.
thinking anything bad happened health-wise happened to her because she's the much stronger one, and I only had to be strong at times. So,
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Certainly.
No, that's rough for not just her going through it, but like for everyone in the family.
Right.
Okay, where's that question? I need to read it again.
I folded it up because
so
I
that one,
got to thinking. Yes, there it is
here
for
it
you.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
so a moment where you had to be strong for someone else. Gosh, I'm gonna have to say that it was for my ex-husband, and I've been married twice, so this is my second ex-husband. He's still one of my best friends, and I think he's gone through a lot himself, and our marriage could not continue for reasons in terms of staying committed to our vows. I'm going to say it like that, okay?
Yeah.
But the underlying reason why he was having issues with that was that he does have a condition that really is coming from childhood trauma, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I think whether it's because I'm in healthcare or not, I mean, maybe it's just part of my nature that, I'm extremely empathetic, right? And always hopeful for the other person.
Right.
And so sometimes people don't really understand how you can still be friends with, an ex. And, but I think even to this day, and he is so appreciative for me to still be there as a friend for him.
Yeah.
And he acknowledges it.
Yeah.
And it does help him with his journey.
Okay. Yeah.
Not everyone's, sometimes the traumas that we experience as children, we didn't ask for that.
Right. Yeah.
We don't ask for that, right? And so the demons that he's facing now as an adult really is coming from these things that he didn't ask for when he was a child. And I know all the background story. And so yeah, he is someone that I have been there and still there for him. Yeah. Even though he's in another state and all that, but I think he knows that. So it could have been easier for me to just cut off our ties, but I know that for his condition, he does need to know that there is someone that understands what he's truly going through, and so I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So thank you,
Thank you.
Oliver, for
Certainly And I thought I was just supposed to talk about optometry. Yeah, I didn't know we were going deep. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
well, I did kind
That's
of
good.
allude to the fact that
You
my chew on this podcast was a concept that I came up
Yeah.
with where, we have enough podcasts in our industry
Right.
that are on our industry topics,
Yeah.
right? And I just thought, why add to another one,
Sure.
right? And I figured, let's have something that's
Yeah.
kind of different.
Yeah.
And if you notice, we're sharing the same space to talk about,
Right.
certain things that actually do matter.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we don't have the opportunity to have our stories be heard.
Right.
And so I thank you.
Yeah.
I
All
thank
right.
you. All
Yeah.
right. So
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome. So to all my followers, thank you for spending the time with us, and continue to lead your life boldly, see everything ever so clearly, and live out your life purposefully. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.